Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Comic Edition Decepticon Straxus. This might be the comic edition figure I was most excited about. Here we've got the cover art of Straxus and Blaster fighting it out. We can, just like before, open up the resealable box, and we can see in here the little blurb about Straxus, but we don't need to worry about this because I don't keep these boxes. And here we've got Straxus in alt mode. And again, Straxus's design has kind of always been at least just a little inspired by Galvatron, so it makes total sense that they took this and they are remolding Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Kingdom Galvatron into Straxus. The back half of his alt mode is the same. That's all the same. He's got some of the same like shoulder pieces and stuff here, but the barrel piece, our chest, bottom of the barrel is new molding. Our barrel itself is new. The way the top end works is new. And he's got, instead of like rollers, he's got like a single tiny roller, but it really is just a caster representing his like hover mode. So it looks really good. I like it a lot. And the paintwork is really, really nice too. I think in this form, the blues really pop. We've got nice black comic line contrasts. Those look fantastic. And we've got this like blue dotted pattern, that like dot matrix printer pattern looks really, really nice. I like the way that like stippling gives that comic coloring effect. Not much to talk about in this mode. He doesn't do much. I mean, he's got two sets of casters on the front and back, so he can roll just fine. He just looks cool, intimidating. I like it a lot. If we're comparing him to a Galvatron, here he is against Galvatron. You can see they even have slightly different profiles. I misspoke when I said that the molding is essentially the same, but there's a slightly different mechanism here, which stops the back end piece from going as high as Galvatron's can. So it gives this more angled look, which I think is really neat. It's a good effect that makes things feel different, especially with his wider stance and everything. I dig it a lot. The transformation is essentially the same, so we are going to fast forward through this one. And here is Straxus in robot mode. And as much as I liked his appearance in alt mode, I think he looks even better here. There are obviously some signs of the Galvatron behind it all. He wears his shoulder pieces flat instead of up to try and give that like level chested look that he has in the comics. But this whole chest area is redesigned and it looks so bold. I really, really like, it's hard to get it on camera, but like the black outline here around the red gives just that like bolded touch, especially the black under boob here looks really good. The blue and red contrast each other really nicely around the shoulders. As we can see, his weapon is a little on the loose side. I thought maybe this telescoped, but it doesn't, and that's unfortunate because it really doesn't want to sit in there super tight, but it still works. He's got his gun, which is, you know, accented nicely, but I prefer to just store it on the back like so. Yeah, it gives him a little more backpack, but I like him just with his melee weapon. His head is definitely Straxus's head. I mean, we've got that kind of snake mask, viper thing going on. The eyes are like this pitch black. It looks like he is in the comic. I'll say it's not my favorite Straxus head design, but I recognize this is the comic Straxus head design. Something about it, like it can wiggle a little bit, but because of the way, like they needed a concave cut, like a bowl-shaped cut upward to give him a little more head tilt, which would have been nice, but it still like does the job. And again, the black accenting helps like on the one side. Similar to Grimlock, I think the black on blue looks really, really nice. I would have preferred, I think Straxus tends to have like red details on his thighs. I don't think we got that. Yeah, some sort of tampograph to mimic this I think would have been nice, especially since this is a premium figure already. Like that sort of detail just makes it feel more premium, as well as, again, like in his pose, Like, being able to mimic the comic pose would be great. If that was long enough for us to get two fists around the weapon, would have been nice. Those sorts of things are what I nitpick on this. But overall, it's just nice to get Straxus. It's nice to get him at a leader, and because I've been reviewing leaders recently that weren't really leaders, this guy reminds me what a leader is. He feels heavy and chunky. He feels so much more satisfying to play with and pose and move than like Springer and Soundwave did. At the leader price point, those aren't like bad figures, but at the leader price point, God, I wish he could look up just a little bit. He feels pretty dang good. Yeah, I like his just the solidity. Every limb feels thick, and I appreciate that a lot. If I am trying to get, yeah, his hands just don't come close enough together. We need that like axe handle to be way longer for him to like hold things like that or something. But overall, I think he looks pretty dang cool. And he looks visually distinct from Galvatron. If you look at these two together, you can see kind of the differences we're talking about. It's a whole different chest. The shoulder pylon being in a different orientation changes things a lot. The arms and the legs, like the thigh pieces are the same, but even the shins are differently sculpted. I think he definitely earns his spot on the shelf. The previous Straxus we got was a deluxe, and it was fine. I have that mold as Skullgrin, but this is nice to have as Straxus here. Actually, yeah, let's do a comparison real quick. This Skullgrin was also used as Straxus, so we can see here kind of the difference we're talking about in size and scale between the two figures. I think this is absolutely worth, what is he going for now? $55, $60. The remolding is awesome. The colors are great. The transformation, like the base toy, was already good. I am curious to see if this guy ends up being worth it on the Studio Series side of things. But as is, Galvatron feels really good. Straxus feels really good. It's nothing but a recommendation. He's an iconic figure who hasn't gotten a lot of toys. If you can still find him, pick him up.